I we ping on Gal and see if he's able to join. He was not feeling well, so
Yeah, two folks from my group are still waiting for their car to drive home. That's a big reason. So they may be late or you'll be a meeting. So we can start.
we can't start. Okay, I was just about to ask if we should wait. All right. All right. We won't wait for Angel since, like I said, he was ill yesterday, so maybe out today as well. Okay, just working down the action items from the last meeting. Peng, you were going to write a proposal for tar header annotations. Oh, it looks like, wait, is that the proposal or is that just a comment about the proposal? Oh, I think you're muted, Peng.
Sorry. Yeah, can you open the link
Yeah,
or do you want?
yeah, I probably can.
Yeah,
I don't know, I'm having trouble selecting it. It's a
yeah,
column between.
I can open it and share the screen as well. Let me do it.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, you're gonna share the
can you
screen.
see it?
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, this is our proposal to annotate the tar headers. It's a very simple, the basic tar header in a Go structure, and it has a name, the file name, the mode, UID, GID, size of the file, M time, and file and the file type. It can be a regular file or directory. So with this, we can pack it in an annotation like this, and then during the pooling stage, we can use it to save as a file metadata instead of trying to add it to the digest. So even to just give you some more background about this, we are looking at how we can describe a raw layer instead of using a tar and to to save the blob layer, a blob layer, a layer of blob or whatever. It is just a single file, and we do not want to save the file metadata in the tar or in the blob because they can change and vary and break the immutability of the blob. And besides during the download stage, we have to untar it, which is another which hurt our download performance because we have to write it twice. Mm, so our proposal is that we use a sorry, I don't think this is right. This 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 one has to be changed. It's not a meter type tar. It has to be a meter type raw layer. So this is a raw layer, and uh, and we use the annotation to describe the file metadata. So that's a current proposal.
This is the topic that we're most interested in because we don't want to archive these files on the Docker side. I think it's like the difference between what we're doing and what's in this proposal. Um, I'm curious, like what component of the system we're expecting to like read and understand these annotations. So this be like a container D extension, sort of like what the
Um,
vision is here.
Currently we're using there's a simple tool called mode control. It can understand and sorry, running. So this tool is quite similar as like you did in the Docker org. Then it is a simple command line tool. It can build, pull, and push the 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 artifact to the registry. and during the poor stage, it can parse the annotation and save the file as described. So I believe for different implementations, just like yours the mm, or the GitOps one, and and also in future the, the container and CRI the container runtime should understand this format and use it. Right now, in our last meeting, we decided that we will keep both tar and raw for compatibility because it will cost time for containerd and cryo to digest this. And it is for containerd because cryo maintainers has promised to follow the specification. So we don't worry much about cryo, but for containerd, I guess we need some time to persuade the maintainers. But so the tar meter type is kept, but we will certainly in the end we want to pursue the raw meter type.
Yeah, I mean, it's a concern whether container-D cryo would actually use these annotations or willing to use these annotations, or that would be some sort of an extension to container-D and cryo. But the tools that actually like the modctl or kit CLI would use them, uh, definitely so that it can process the raw types. But we do not really have a good beat on whether the OCI runtimes essentially will be willing to uh, adopt the annotations. Um, but for them, as they do today, as Peng mentioned, right, we are not replacing tars. We are just adding a new type for it. And to be honest, I think at some point it would even be possible that there would be automated conversions between them if needed.
This
Yeah,
is maybe something I can help with because I've been working with the Moby team because we're trying to get some sort of inference runtime. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen what Docker has done so far. Like, we have the model distribution repo and it's being used within Docker Model Runner. Very similar to what you guys are doing with modctl to pull and push, and then you can also run. But we're working on getting something into Docker CE and making it like more native rather than like a separate,
Mm.
um, a whole separate path like we've been doing. And one option that's being explored is container D shims that would sort of like, for right now, we're still working with the Docker format, but it would be a shim that could understand that format and run it like within container D
Yeah,
natively.
yeah,
Um,
and that would
Yeah.
be with the Llama CPP runtime, right?
yeah.
So it would be very specific to GGOF. Uh,
Um, right now, that's the only sort of like back end, but
Mm.
we there's
okay,
plans to support multiple types of backends.
okay, yeah. I mean, that would be fantastic, right? Uh,
It's
that
still like
would be
early days, but things are moving quickly, so we might have some sort of like prototype or something we can share publicly within a couple weeks.
yeah. I mean, uh, you mean with using the specification or with the raw type?
I think right now, just given the pressure to do things quickly, we would still be using our own specification. Um, but I want to keep it as similar as possible so that these things can converge eventually, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and so far, we haven't done it exactly this way. It's not like there's a raw type with the file headers. We just have the plain files in the media type.
Yeah,
Um,
the
and
GGOF specific type, right?
Yeah. And I think we might be able to, we're talking about ways of sort of like turning that into an executable that um, I can give you like more details soon in the future. It's a slightly different approach that's not necessarily like uh, embedding the tar headers to make any arbitrary rootfs from a set of raw files. It's more like specific to, it's like, I know what each of these files are, and I'm going to make a decision about how to turn these into a file system rather than having all the file system information embedded in the artifact, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So are you specific, and are you designed to specific to any file system type or just like ext4 or ERFS or overlayFS, or do you follow any specific existing file system metadata or just another description?
Um, it would be like the shim itself that makes the. I'm not sure if I totally understood your question, but the shim itself that's sort of like making a rootfs from this and running it would be
Mhm.
making the decisions about how to
Okay, so
set
the
up a file
shim
system.
can decide where to read the metadata essentially. So
Yeah.
whether the metadata follows overlay FS or something else, it just doesn't matter as long as the shim is aware of it, where to read the metadata.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
this is a little bit like
Okay.
hand wavy right now.
Yeah.
There'll be
Okay.
some, I can give you more concrete details in the future, but that's like sort of like the 1,000 foot
Yeah.
view of what we're trying to work on over the next couple weeks.
Okay. Um, I mean, from my point of view, I think it would be fantastic if you're able to get started with this model specification as quickly as possible. You know, we are also in the like I'm saying this, but we haven't really converted Kit CLI to start using the model spec either. So, but like it would be good for us to start getting more implementations and then feedback from the implementations as well. Um,
I think what's great about this approach with raw is that um, we can write tools that cheaply convert between different formats without having to repackage the layers.
yeah.
That's like the big difference. Like however the metadata is formatted, we can work it
Okay.
out. A runtime has the shim, a runtime doesn't have the shim. It's a different runtime. But as long as all we're doing is rewriting the manifest, then everything is easier, and then we can go from there.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing about yeah, we rewrite the manifest all the time on our product. So the only thing that is bad about it is it's a new SHA
Yeah.
every time we rewrite it. So, but as long as you are aware of that, yes.
Yeah, our side, we are really looking forward to this raw linear type as we plan to put it actually in production next month. We right now we are using the current model spec to describe our internal model artifacts, and
Mm,
we see major issues with the tar linear type, and we want to use the raw type.
yeah. Um, I mean, I feel like this is going to be enough for any desktop use case. Emily, what do you think? Because or do you see anything that needs to be like, I think that's my main concern right now with this because we came up with this specification not from the point of view of, oh, I want to create a desktop runner uh, with the model spec. We came um, from the point of view of, oh, I want to run this in mass in cloud platforms, right? So um, the need that kind of we're trying to uh, fulfill is like, oh, how can I deliver this and make that runnable as quickly as possible on a cloud platform rather than, you know, make it easy to run it on a desktop. Um, so
Some of the performance considerations, though, are going to be the same, right? Like we definitely approached
sure.
from the local first, and now we're thinking like, how can we take that and make it runnable everywhere with similar performance? Um,
I mean, it doesn't need to be a choice, does it, Gorkum? I mean, we can support
Um,
cases that are local and non-local.
yeah, I think that's my assertion. It's just I want to know if the spec covers every parts of it. And
Oh,
I
I see.
think
Oh, I
that,
see. You're
yeah,
saying we've only been thinking about it from more of the production side, so we're just not the best people to
yeah,
say whether the spec is going to fully support the on
right, right.
laptop. Okay.
Because,
Right.
yeah, because Pango also comes from the the world where we run things in cloud, right?
Yeah.
And so um, if we haven't been really looking into doing this, but we do have a runner in Kit CLI, but it's more of a development time thing for us. So, right, it's like just to see if this is actually covering all the bases in the and for that use case as well. I think it should, and if it doesn't, I think the like a single spec should be able to serve both because it does it for Docker images. So, um, but we'll see.
And so, Emily, can you maybe in future meetings, can you describe how Docker does it right now? And then we can discuss how we can support Docker's use case in the same space spec and how you can adapt to this common definition. Is it okay?
yeah, maybe I can like do a little spiel at the next one. Um, and we'll have more prototypes by then in 2 weeks. Um,
Great, thank you.
I did just this morning finally throw some words in that document. Apologies, they're late. It's been a hectic couple weeks because I'm moving, but
Oh.
yeah.
Appreciate that, Emily. Thank you. That's
Um,
rough to try and do both those things at the same time.
That's a big excuse.
And now that's one.
But um, so I guess just to play a thought experiment, assuming that the support for raw files uh, is added to the spec, assuming the spec is able to be used for the use case that you're discussing, Emily. As you said, right now, and totally understandably, Docker is moving forward with kind of your own implementation. But would, assuming the spec works, would that be where you would want to move things over time? And if so, what does that time horizon look like?
yes, we would absolutely want to be on a shared standard. It's like a big goal. I think the fact that we're sort of out on our own is mostly just because we're moving quickly and we want to be able to be in control while we're figuring out some of these fundamentals of how we want to architect it. But we want to land in a place where it's not just something we're doing, that it's a shared standard. And this project feels like a good place to build that together.
Mhm.
Exactly when on the timelines, I don't know yet. I'm sorry.
I understand. I think what I was trying to
Um,
get to, Emily, more having spent a good portion of my life in large companies, is I was trying to understand, like, is this a kind of executive level priority of be on a shared standard? Is it an eng level priority, or is it like there's five of us in Docker who really feel passionately about this and no one else cares?
we buy in all the way through leadership to make
Okay.
this something we want to do eventually. So yeah.
Okay, good. That leadership buy-in is important. So it sounds if you've kind of got that, people are kind of nodding their head that yeah, we should be on a shared standard, then that's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, anything, it sounds like we're done with this conversation,
Yeah.
or at least for the moment. So KubeCon China, Andrew had asked in chat, he had a drop. But who is actually able to attend the panel? He is not. Um, and we right now are still talking amongst ourselves whether Gorkum would be able to go or not. So we're iffy on that. Is anybody else going to be at KubeCon China?
I definitely will be there, but I cannot do the
Good.
panel now.
Yeah, you can't. Yes, that's a one-person panel. It's not ideal, but
It's a single
yes,
person panel. I think
yeah.
we have, I keep forgetting the names. We have 4 people, right?
I have in the
Uh,
proposal, I believe. Yeah.
yeah, you are in the
Uh,
proposal. Yeah,
yes.
definitely. Andy is out. I am iffy, as uh, Brett likes to call me.
For Dong, I believe she can be there. She will certainly attend the KubeCon China, so we have to, but
Two.
we
All
still
right.
need more. Yeah.
Yes. Uh,
Um,
Mateo, I don't suppose you know if there's anybody else from Red Hat who is planning on going? No. Okay. For some reason, you're muted even though you're not showing muted, but that's okay. I got the head shake. It was good enough. Um,
um, we have
yeah.
Fog Dong and Shui Zhang, uh, in addition to Peng, me, and Andrew.
Does anybody know if, so it sounds like Fog is able to make it. And is Shui going to make it? Sorry if I'm butchering people's names.
We don't know. Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna have to.
Okay, well, maybe take this then to the
Yeah.
Slack channel and just see if we can ping people
Yeah,
directly, just to make sure that we've got, I mean, two is technically a panel, but it's probably better if we have three,
it's a
at least.
it's a
So
conversation.
yes, it's a fireside chat at that point. Cool. Were there other topics that folks wanted to discuss?
Looking at the AI, can we?
Yeah, I was just gonna go through those if there's no other
Yeah.
topics. Yeah. Gorkum, you were going to change the spec doc to reference the schema.
Yeah, sometime before retirement. Yeah.
All right, that's very,
I
very
have no
generous.
excuse. I just
Yeah.
it was just busy. So
All right.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
I'll do it.
we already have a PR from Xudong that
Yeah.
if
Yes.
they propose
Yeah,
the
I think
yeah.
yeah, it's just I need to update the spec to just link to it. I suppose it's like a 2 minute thing, but yeah.
All right. I'll bug you about it.
I'll go through it
Okay.
and be done with it.
All right. We don't know if Angal had a chance to test the Podman runtime. Peng, did you have a chance to test the Docker Moby runtime?
Yes, I did. I did check it, and
Oh,
it doesn't support anything other than the OCI image because it requires the image to be local, and Docker cannot pull monospec images because it doesn't support the media type.
okay.
So
Not terribly surprising, but
yeah,
good to know. All right.
and this is
Okay.
expected. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else from anyone?
Can I ask a dumb question?
Of course. My
What
favorite.
is I'm not quite sure what this project is called. Is there a name?
It's
Yeah.
called Model Pack
Model
actually.
pack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
it's
haven't changed the organization name yet.
Um,
so when we were making the project official and proposed it to Sandbox, we named it Model Pack.
I used
Um,
to be on the TOC of the Build Packs project, and I don't think they would love the overlap in the naming there, but
Hey, it's a pack.
it is similar in that it's, creating OCI artifacts
I mean,
in new ways.
we can't call it Helm either, so
Yep.
anything related to ships is gone.
I'm not, I'm just throwing it out there. But
Yeah,
model
well,
pack, that's the name.
I,
That
that's
is the
the
name.
yes, that's
Yeah, that's the
the name
proposed
we were going
name.
to
Yeah.
submit under. I mean, we'll see. I guess if people have massive problems with it and we need to change it, then I guess we could change it. But uh, I think the logic of why Build Pack wouldn't like it is because it actually makes sense, which is a terrible, I don't mean it in a negative way. I just mean like Build Packs make sense for what it does. Model Pack makes sense for what it does. The fact that they're similar is because they do similar things. Um, so I kind of get it, but I also think, you don't want to make the name too arbitrary or else, people just don't know what the heck it's about. So in
Yeah.
other words, this was a fairly conscious choice. It was not a conscious choice to try and parallel build pack, but it was a conscious choice to try and make something that was descriptive of what we're doing.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
just to give some background, when we were trying to find the names, we actually had some proposals that were even more close to build packs. So we kind of eliminated all of that and was like, yeah, I think this is kind of the least offensive to anyone. But I mean, it's really hard to do naming when you're doing, some sort of package management or artifact management. It's everything is someone has something in there. Yeah. So, and I pasted the link to the sandbox proposal in case you need to follow up.
Thank you.
No
Sorry for
problem.
derailing with,
No, no, that was
you know,
Yeah.
sandbox proposal. I'm actually going to add that sandbox proposal link to the top of the document because at this point it's probably something that people coming to the document will all want to know and see. We can update it after it gets accepted. Okay. Anything else? All right, folks. Then I think we're done for the day. Thank you. Looking forward to the next discussion. Uh, won't keep anybody longer than needed. Thanks all. Good luck with your move,
Thank you.
Emily.
Bye.
thank you.
You all. Bye.